Picture your brain 30 years from now. Sharp, quick, still yours. Or picture the other version. Names slipping away. Losing your train of thought mid-sentence. Which one are you heading toward, and can you actually change that? Every year, millions of people search for the same answer. Brain training apps. Crossword puzzles. Fish oil pills. Sudoku. A whole industry has grown up around one promise: protect your mind before it starts slipping. But here is a question almost nobody asks seriously enough. What if the most powerful tool for your brain was not a supplement, not an app, not a puzzle book, but something you already know how to do? We have known for decades that exercise is good for your heart, your lungs, your muscles. That part is not controversial. Doctors have said it for generations. Move your body, protect your organs. But your brain is an organ too. So does the same rule apply? Does moving your legs actually change what happens inside your skull? Scientists started asking this question seriously back in the 1990s. Researchers noticed something strange in mice. Mice that ran on wheels grew new brain cells in a region tied to memory. Something physical was rewriting something mental. That discovery kicked off decades of human research. Study after study, in children, in adults, in older people, in people with health conditions. Different exercises, different intensities, different results, honestly, that often contradicted each other. Meanwhile, the stakes kept rising. Cognitive decline and dementia have become one of the defining health concerns of our time. Have you noticed a grandparent forgetting names that used to come instantly? Have you ever caught yourself blanking on a word mid-conversation and felt a small flicker of worry? That worry is not irrational. As populations age worldwide, preserving memory and clear thinking has become urgent, not just for individuals, but for entire healthcare systems. So naturally, people wanted a clean answer. Does exercise protect the brain, yes or no? For years, the honest answer was frustratingly murky. One influential earlier analysis looked specifically at healthy adults and found only a small effect of exercise on cognition. And when the researchers corrected that result for something called publication bias, a tendency for exciting positive results to get published more than boring negative ones, the effect almost disappeared completely. That is a real gut punch if you were hoping exercise was some kind of brain superpower. Was the whole idea overhyped? Was this just another wellness myth dressed up in a lab coat? But that earlier analysis had a narrow lens. It only looked at healthy adults. It excluded children. It excluded older adults. It excluded people with any cognitive impairment or chronic disease, which happened to be exactly the groups who might benefit the most. And it left out entire categories of movement, like yoga and Tai Chi. So a team of researchers in Australia decided to ask the question properly, at a scale nobody had attempted before. Instead of running a new experiment with a few hundred people, they did something more ambitious. They gathered every existing systematic review and meta-analysis on exercise and cognitive function that they could find, and analyzed all of them together. Scientists call this an umbrella review, a review of reviews, or you could think of it as the biggest possible zoomed-out photograph of everything science already knows. The scale here is genuinely hard to picture. 133 separate systematic reviews, 2,724 individual randomized controlled trials, 258,279 real people, ages ranging from 6 years old to 89. That is not a study. That is close to the entire body of human knowledge on this topic, compressed into one analysis. So why would exercise change how your brain works in the first place? What is actually happening under the hood? Physiologically, moving your body increases blood flow to the brain, delivering more oxygen and nutrients to the exact tissue you use to think. Exercise also triggers the release of growth factors, proteins that help brain cells form new connections. Some research even points to new blood vessel growth and reduced inflammation throughout the brain. There is likely a psychological piece too. Exercise is often social. Group fitness classes, team sports, a dance class with a friend. Interacting with other people, while moving might stack cognitive benefits on top of the purely physical ones. Now here is where it gets genuinely surprising. Not all exercise affected the brain equally, and the winners were not what you might expect. Video games that require real physical movement, the kind where you dance, box, or swing your whole body to play, had the single largest effect on general thinking ability out of every category tested. Yes, an activity that looks like play beat out plenty of traditional workouts. Why would that work so well? Because these games do not just move your body, they also force your brain to react, plan, and remember sequences in real time. You are training the physical and the mental system simultaneously, in the same 10 minutes. And for memory specifically, one category stood out above everything else: mind-body practices like yoga, Tai Chi, and a lesser-known Chinese practice called Baduanjin. Think about what Tai Chi actually demands. Memorizing long flowing sequences of movement, coordinating breath with motion, holding sustained attention for the entire session. It is exercise, but it is also quietly a memory workout in disguise. Have you ever noticed how much concentration it takes to follow a new dance routine or a new sequence of yoga poses? That mental effort might be doing just as much work as the physical exertion. Now, if you are picturing this as something only for elite athletes, here is the part that should change your mind completely. The benefits did not depend on intensity. Low intensity and moderate intensity exercise produced effects that were just as strong, sometimes even slightly stronger, than intense training. It did not matter how many days a week people exercised, or how long each session lasted. In plain terms, walking counted. A gentle bike ride counted. A slow dance class counted. You did not need to be drenched in sweat for your brain to notice. That is genuinely good news if you have ever felt like you failed at exercise because you could not commit to an intense gym routine. This research suggests you were never required to. Here is another twist. You might assume that exercising for 6 months or a year would help your brain more than exercising for just a few weeks. The data said the opposite. Programs lasting just 1 to 3 months showed a bigger boost to general cognition than programs lasting more than 6 months. Shorter beat longer. Why would that happen? Nobody knows for certain, but researchers have a few theories. People tend to drop out of long programs at higher rates than short ones. There might be a novelty effect. A new activity is more mentally stimulating before it becomes routine. And shorter studies sometimes use less demanding comparison groups, which could inflate the apparent effect somewhat. Whatever the exact explanation, the message for you is reassuring either way. You do not need a lifelong commitment to see a benefit. Even a short, focused stretch of regular movement appears to matter. 2 groups stood out as benefiting more than anyone else, and they might surprise you. Children and adolescents showed dramatically larger memory improvements from exercise than adults or older adults. And within executive function, the mental skills behind planning, focus, and self-control, the group with the single largest improvement was people with attention deficit hyperactivity disorder, ADHD. That is a striking result. For a population that often struggles most with attention and impulse control, structured movement produced the biggest cognitive payoff of any group study. So let us step back for a second. If you have been putting off exercise, waiting for some perfect gym plan, some perfect intense routine, ask yourself honestly, is that plan the thing standing between you and a sharper mind? Or is it just an excuse dressed up as a strategy? Because based on everything we have covered so far, the barrier to entry might be far lower than you think. A walk, a dance class, 20 minutes of a video game that gets you moving. Now let us get specific. What exactly did the scientists do, and what precisely did they find when you look at the actual numbers behind all of this? The study was led by researcher Ben Singh and a team based at the University of South Australia, and it was published in 2025 in the British Journal of Sports Medicine, one of the most respected journals in sports and exercise science. The team searched 11 separate scientific databases, covering everything from medicine to psychology to sports science, looking for every systematic review and meta-analysis of exercise and cognition ever published. That search returned 6,620 potential results. After careful screening, the team narrowed that down to 133 reviews that met strict quality criteria, reviews built entirely on randomized controlled trials, the gold standard of medical evidence, comparing exercise directly against no exercise or a different intervention. Inside those 133 reviews were 2,724 individual randomized trials and 258,279 total participants, with an average age ranging from just 8 years old up to 89, 2 years old. Every stage of life represented. So what did the numbers actually show? Exercise significantly improved 3 separate measures. General cognition improved with an effect size of 0, 42. Memory improved with an effect size of 0, 26. Executive function, your planning and self-control system, improved with an effect size of 0, 24. In plain language, those are small to moderate effects, not a miracle cure, but a real, measurable, statistically significant shift. And remember, this comes from randomized controlled trials, not just people who happen to exercise more also happening to have better memories. These are direct comparisons with control groups, so we are talking about cause and effect, not just correlation. And critically, these effects held up under pressure. When the researchers excluded every review with weak methodology and kept only the highest quality evidence, the benefit remained statistically significant. When they corrected for publication bias, the same way that earlier smaller analysis saw its effect nearly vanish, this effect survived. That is the difference between this analysis and the shakier evidence that came before it. Scale and survival under scrutiny. Now, in fairness, the researchers were transparent about a real limitation. Many of the individual reviews included in this analysis had, on their own, fairly low methodological quality, evaluated using a standard tool called AMSTAR2. That does not mean the underlying trials were bad. It means the summary papers themselves had gaps, like not always listing why certain studies were excluded. The honest scientific takeaway is not exercise is a guaranteed brain cure. It is that, across the largest and most comprehensive analysis ever conducted on this question, regular movement shows a consistent, real and reproducible benefit for memory, focus, and general thinking ability across every age group studied. So here is where that leaves you. You do not need an intense routine. You do not need months of commitment before it counts. A walk, a dance class, yoga, even 20 minutes of a game that gets your body moving. The next time you are deciding whether it is worth lacing up your shoes for a short walk, remember what 258,279 people and 2,724 clinical trials just told us. Your brain is listening to your body, whether you realize it or not. This video was based directly on the peer-reviewed study, Effectiveness of Exercise for Improving Cognition, Memory and Executive Function, published by Ben Singh and colleagues in the British Journal of Sports Medicine in 2025, openly accessible for anyone who wants to read the full analysis themselves.